After I've created an object, I may well want to edit the object. So here is an object that I've created. So the different things I can do is I can move it, I can rotate it, I can resize it. Those are the main ones I want to look at right now. First, the movement. This is my select and move tool, so I can select it, and then from there I get a three-dimensional moving on the X plane, on the Y plane, on the Z plane. If I click on one of the arrowheads, I'm moving it in that direction only. Then I have little side planes that will let me move it in two directions and freeze the third dimensional direction. So there's one at the bottom. There's this one. And there's this one. And then if I grab this one, then I'm moving it in all directions. So that's movement. Then there's rotation. If I rotate again, I have the three different directions that I rotate. As I start rotating something, notice the numbers it gives me. So I am rotating it by degrees. I'm rotating on the X but not on the Y or the Z. If I make a mistake, oops, I can let go and I can control Z to undo and rotate it on a different. Now I'm rotating on the Y axis. Now I'm rotating on the Z axis. So that's rotation. And then resizing. If I go to resize, I can resize it in the Y direction, the X direction, or the Z direction, or I can resize it on two of the three or I can resize it on all three at the same time, which is essentially scaling, resizing without destroying the aspect ratio. So that is resizing, and that is how you resize things by click and drag. There also is resizing and editing by numbers. So once I create an object, I can go to modify, and I can modify, in this case, the length, the width, and the height. So maybe I want to reset the modify. I'm scaling right now. So maybe I want to set the length to 40, the width to 35, and the height to 50. And when I do, notice it's automatically changing the size for me. So I'm able to set the sizes by going to modify and clicking. If I want to rotate it, I can actually right click on the object, and here is rotate, and that gives me the numbers. This is also where I can scale, I can move, but like in this case, rotate. So this gives me my rotation. Let's say I want to rotate it 45 degrees on the X plane and 30 degrees on the Y plane. So this gives me the ability to be very precise in what I do, just as this does. So if I'm trying to match up a couple of objects and they have to line up and I'm trying to link them together, it's important that probably one of the dimensions on both objects is exactly the same so that they fit together. This is how you do it. You would go here and you would actually enter the numbers. So that is editing.